I'm reading this morning in Luke chapter 14, starting with verse 25. I want you to just listen to this. And there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto them, If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And whosoever doeth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. And then he goes in where he's using it a lot like a parable in these next couple of verses. For which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? Lest haply, after he hath laid the foundation, and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him, saying, This man began to build and was not able to finish. And then he uses another one here. Or what king, going to make war against another king, sitteth not down first and considereth whether he is able or be able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000? Or else, see, he goes on, while the other is yet a great way off, he sendeth an ambassage and desireth conditions of peace. So you notice that verse 33 is the summation basically of the subject that he's talking about. So likewise, see, he's narrowing down the answer here. Whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he hath, he cannot be my disciple. And then he goes in and starts talking about the salt, how it's not good for nothing, but it's tossed into the garden, it's tossed into the dunghill, but men cast it out. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. Jesus is being very blunt here in these verses. I mean, people can paint the picture however rosy they want to paint the picture, but I looked up the word forsaken. It's mentioned in the Bible 136 times. Here's the definition of the word forsake. Abandon someone or something, renounce, or give up something valued or pleasant. Now, to come out here and read you these verses, I wasn't planning on reading all these verses, but my main focus is verse 33. So likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he hath, he cannot be my disciple. Well, the definition talks about abandon someone or something. Too many people don't want to abandon the things of the carnal life because it's fun. The carnal life is fun. The carnal life, I get joy out of it. I make money out of it. I have a lot of refreshing times with the carnal life. See, he's saying here, abandon someone or something, renounce. That means if you renounce somebody, you're calling them down. Basically, that's what Jesus is basically saying. Or give up. You know, when you renounce something, you walk away from something, you give it up. Something valued or pleasant. And that part there really caught me. Because I'm thinking, you know, the people in this world, they love this world. They love the value of this world. They love the pleasantness of this world. And you know what? The Bible was very clear in this verse that I just read right here in verse 33. How many tries to play both sides of the fence? You know, I farmed, I guess, all my adult life. And I've had many a barbed wire fence. And I'll be honest with you, there's been on occasion of a few times in my younger days of where I would cross a barbed wire fence. But you know what? I never stayed on that barbed wire fence. I didn't get up there and get nervous. I got up there to get over to the other side. You never sit in the middle of a barbed wire fence. So why would people play both sides when Jesus made it very clear in these writings right here? Whosoever be of you that forsaketh not all that he hath, he cannot be my disciple. Now, does that mean that Peter forsook all that he had? Did Matthew and Mark and all of the disciples and Paul and all of these other men, did they forsake all that they had? I want to think that they forsook the part that God dealt with them on. When we look at this verse and it says all, I believe it means exactly that. It means all. But how many tries to play both sides of the fence? Let me cut to the chase a little bit. In God's will today and out of God's will tomorrow. You know, this coming up Sunday is Sunday church. We all pretty much going to be in Sunday church because that's just what we do. And we're going to feel that we're smack dab in the middle of God's will. But what about the other 6 days? What about the other days that no one really got to see us? Maybe no one heard from us. How many people is out of God's will all the rest of the time, but yet on Sunday morning, all of a sudden now, it's sort of like putting on a nice pair of clothes. It's like somebody wearing a suit to church. A person that wears a suit to church, the first thing they do when they get home is take it off. They take it off. It's uncomfortable. When I go and do my little church on Sunday, more than likely I ain't going to look a blooming bit different than I am right now. I'm going to wear the same pants. I'm going to wear the same shirt. I'm going to be the same person. My desire is to be the same person on that Sunday that I portrayed to the world on video all during the week. And what Jesus is simply saying here is, whosoever will be of you that forsaketh not all that he hath, he cannot be my disciple. So if I'm not forsaking the things that he wants me to forsake, does he want me to forsake my home? I need a place to live. Does he want me to forsake my clothing? I need clothes. Does he want me to forsake food? I need something to eat to give me energy to do the message Sunday. Is he talking about forsaking all? Here's what I think he's talking about. A pleasing testimony today. And today is Thursday about noontime. He wants my testimony to be pleasing unto him on Thursday at noontime. But is my testimony not pleasing tomorrow, the next day? It's going back to that fence. You either on the fence or you're on one side of the fence or the other. You don't lay on that barbed wire fence. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. You don't get stranded in the middle of the fence. You either get on or get off. And a lot of people don't like it on that fence. And so therefore they stay close to the fence of religion. I hate to say it. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but they like staying just as close to the fence as they can without climbing over to the other side. I've had cows all my adult life, and I have never been more ceased to be amazed at how a cow wants to take his head and eat through the fence to the other side of the fence when there's mountains of grass where that cow is already, but that cow wants to eat 1 foot on the other side of the fence. It's almost sort of like a pleasing testimony today, not so pleasing testimony tomorrow. We looked up that word, forsake, abandon someone or something. That's where the problem is. A lot of people don't want to abandon this earthly carnal life because it's like I said a minute ago, it's too much fun. There's fun here. There's enjoyment here. During the week, I don't have no conviction about doing anymore because we do the spiritual conviction on Sunday. We don't worry about spiritual conviction on Monday through Thursday and Friday and Saturday. That's our fun time. But sure, Sunday comes, we'll dress up. Yes, sir. We'll dress up. We'll get ready to participate because that's what we are programmed to do. But Jesus didn't give no indication of that right here in this verse. Abandon someone or something, renounce or give up something valued or pleasant. See, the devil knows how to make our life pleasant. He knows how to keep the paychecks rolling in. He knows just how to keep us busy during the week and focusing all of our time on that, more so on the cares of the Lord Jesus. The devil don't mind giving us valued things and pleasant things. Let me ask you a question in closing today. What's first place in you? What's first place to you? You know, this verse, again, is very clear. He says, so likewise, when he got done, and he started out in verse 26, if any man come to me and hate not his father, his mother, does that mean that the Lord wants us to hate my father and my mother? He wants me to put them in their place. Jesus wants to be first place. He doesn't want me hating my dear 93-year-old mother. He wants me to put it in place. It means that he wants me to put her in place. Jesus wants to be number one. What's first place in your life? What's your number one love? A lot of people's going to say, well, it's my wife or it's my husband. No, what's your number one love? You know where you find your number one love? Is when you have to cross over that barbed wire fence to get on his side of the pasture, on the Lord's side of the pasture. But too many is right up near the barbed wire fence of religion. And they're happy to stay right where they are. And that's the part that hurts. Let me ask you this. Will your love pass away? The things that you love down here, will it pass away? Yeah, because it's appointed unto man once to die. You know, everything I've got might not pass away, but I have an appointment with death. So everything out here can stay exactly like it is, and nobody ever touch it again. But how does that control my life when my life is over? When my life is up, my bottom line is up, and my life is over. My life is over, and everything else is left here and left behind. What will pass away? I think Malachi even talks about that there would neither be root nor branch. What does that mean? That means that everything that we have made into a God down here burns away. It's stubble. It's not even stubble. It even burns the stubble down. Go into Malachi. Look at it. I don't remember which verse it is. Go in there. It ain't very long to read the whole book of Malachi. It tells us that what will pass away. What's more important? Is the fleshly things more important? The fleshly things is going to be left behind. My money's going to be left here. My land's going to be left here. My house is going to be left here. My vehicles in the garage is going to be left here. All of my toys that I play with my grandson is all going to be left here. Everything that I have, my clothes, everything, my money, everything is going to be left behind. And what is Jesus saying right here in verse 33? Let me read it again. So likewise, whosoever, who is a whosoever? You, me, everybody that might listen to this in a month from now. So likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he hath, he cannot be my disciple. He wants to just simply be first place. What's more important? Your flesh or your spiritual? What runs your spirit, man? It should be the Lord. But you know what the Lord might be waiting on some people to do? To climb that fence of religion. Go ahead and attempt to climb that fence of religion. You know what? Sometimes it's hard to climb a fence. And sometimes you have to go under the fence. You have to get prostrate on the ground, laying down, and roll your body under the barbed wire fence to get to the other side. Is that what the Lord is telling us to do, is to go underneath the fence? I don't think he cares. If you get humble and you have to lay down, humble yourself. The Bible says to humble yourself. And when you do, he will meet you right where you are. He just wants us to be the whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he hath, he cannot be my disciple. That's just plain and simple words today. I hope this helps somebody. If you're on the fence, I hope this helps somebody. elderlyministry.com is the website. There's a phone number there. Look me up. Thank y'all for listening.